would you want to add a little bit on, the new job description for CFOs and skills that are actually non-negotiable?
CFO hiring has changed drastically in the last 20 years. Today, when I look at CFOs, it's more strategic than operational in nature. By and large, today when I'm hiring for CFOs, the important point that I need to make sure is that does he have the ability to navigate from running operations, which is 5 feet above the ground, to drive strategy, blue sky thinking, build versus buy, which is almost 50,000 feet above the ground. So I think that's one important attribute that I'm looking at an individual. Something which will not replace at any given point of time is how do you measure yourself every year on skills and knowledge and the competencies that you build year on year. How much do you invest in yourself? Do you have your ears to the ground and you're keeping a tab what competition is doing, what the market is doing, where is it heading? Are you keeping a tab in terms of what your peer level firms are doing if you're deciding to be in a certain industry? And how are you ahead of the curve in terms of the maturity of your business? How do you help navigate those complexities that your businesses go through? I think by and large in today's data driven world, it's all about how curious you are, how insightful you can be, how do you measure yourself with knowledge, and how what are the skills that you build? I think these are the fundamentals of catapulting yourself from where you are to the next level. So I think the most important aspect for me when I'm looking at a CFO to start with at the very superficial level is gravitas and leadership presence. I think that's an important criteria because that comes in handy or it's vital when you're working with investors, private equity funds, when you're dealing with regulators, at the same time with your clients, with the board, or with your teams. So gravitas and leadership presence is extremely important in my opinion, followed by excellent communication skills, confidence at a behavioral level. I think apart from that, you also have to start focusing on strategy and depending on the opportunity that you get in your current organization, especially, I think blue sky thinking is extremely important. Now, I do a lot of work in the tech world. So when you're trying to solve a business problem, what is basically going to be the impact that you're going to make by investing in a build solution, how that is going to fructify, how is that going to help you end enterprise customers? That's a very big question. What is the meticulous approach that you have taken to list down the assets, and how have you basically shortlisted the right assets which will help catapult the business in terms of revenue and client growth? That's another important aspect that one has to keep in mind. So I think strategy basically comprises of how do you set up global subsidiaries, working with investors, working with private equity funds, fundraising, and at the same time, your build versus buy strategy. That's extremely critical in today's day. And I think it's extremely important that you have a strong brand presence. And that brand presence is extremely critical in terms of also the knowledge that you bring to the table. So if you are investing in yourself by doing the relevant MBAs or courses, irrespective of it's a foreign university or an Indian university. And that's translating into knowledge, acumen, and business results in the organizations that you're working. And at the same time, you're also a part of various pro bono initiatives or industrial forums where you're demonstrating the expertise that you have built. That's a very strong positioning for you in the market. So I think it's a combination of both education, knowledge, insights, and brand positioning of yourself. I think hobnobbing with CXOs, networking is the need of the hour today. I think it just helps you to get that recognition and brand identity.